What's up, everybody? It's Jared Cavlich here, and I'm going to do a presentation on the Ramones' debut album, as it was very influential to the punk rock genre, as it catapulted the genre into the mainstream, and it pretty much created a whole subculture of people. And as we'll get into the presentation, we'll talk about some of the techniques that they used in the album that were seen as, cheesy and unprofessional, and overall not musician-like. So before we get into that, let's get some backstory on these guys. They formed in 1974, and before they had four people in the group, they originally were a trio, but Tommy, their first drummer, acted as the group's manager. They dressed in blue jeans that had a bunch of holes in them, as you can see in this photo here. And Joey, he was known for wearing his leather jacket. So was Johnny. But they're very edgy and quite the scene to look at. I mean, loads of energy from these guys. And each member adopted the surname, the Ramone, as that wasn't their real last names. They just adopted it just to make it seem like they were a family. So that was something cool. There's Joey. He was the lead singer. There's Johnny, the guitar player. There's Dee Dee, the crazy bass player. And there's Tommy, the original drummer of the Ramones. And the beginnings continued here. Their first concert was on March 30th, 1974. And after the show, I think Joey was playing drums, and I think Dee Dee was playing guitar, but they all switched up their instruments, and they solidified their group once they figured out what they were going to do. So. And then I guess later throughout the years, I think in '75 they became a regular act at the famous CBGB's, which was the Sweet Bar in New York, and where the punk rock scene originated in New York. And their sets were really short, full of energy, and they're usually only 20 minutes in length. And by '75 they signed with Sire Records. And then they released their debut album in '76, and they recorded in just 7 days with only putting $6,000 into the production. And that was relatively cheap, considering most albums during that time were produced with over $500,000. And it reached about 111th on the Billboard 200, and their first single was Blitzkrieg Bop. As I said, they defined a genre as they used a lot of power chords, which was the symbol of punk rock, and it still is. And it's loads of eighth notes with the bass line. It was very simplistic, and it was very fast. They had a lot of catchy melodies, and their lyrics focused on drugs, violence, Nazism, and overall how dumb suburban life was. They made fun of a lot of stuff. Recording techniques recorded a lot like jazz, as they used the same mic placement, and they pretty much just set up mics in the room, recorded it, and they did a lot of overdubbing and double tracking. And the legacy lived on into the 90s, as you can see: Green Day, Newfound Glory, Offspring, Rancid, Blink-182. All these guys probably wouldn't be who they were today if it wasn't for the Ramones and their debut album, which is crucial to the punk rock genre, as it has become which encapsulates the genre in general, that first album. Probably one of my favorites. There's my bibliography, and thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you around.